Human beings cannot exist without calcium. In the boundless universe and vast seas, life takes shape and reproduces itself by taking advantage of external substances. During this process of life, calcium ions help generate the metabolism by combining with other living substances in the human body, thus playing an important role in the whole process of continuing life. Research in the last 25 years of this century has produced the most remarkable achievements in health products. Now let's look at the relationship between calcium and life. Calcium is the source of human life. It plays an important role physiologically in every stage of human growth, from conception to childhood, and through middle age to old age. Calcium is an essential and indispensable element present in the health of the body and human longevity. At the beginning of life, sperm moves towards the ovum with the energy provided by calcium. To scientists' surprise, they found that there is a calcium component on the top front part of the DNA carried by the sperm. It's this acrosome that helps the sperm pierce and penetrate the inner membrane of the ovum cell. When the sperm reaches the ovum cell, fertilization takes place. Meanwhile, undulating substances composed of calcium surround the ovum cell, which is called calcium vibration. Look, the calcium vibration is showing its function of stimulating the ovum, enabling it to gain the ability to be fertilized. A life begins. We see from this that if calcium was lacking, it would directly affect the fertilizing vitality of the sperm, leading to infertility. The most ancient coral polyp absorbed calcium from the ocean to form limbs and trunks, evolving from little more than an intestine into a shellfish in the form of a mollusk by absorbing calcium from the seawater to compose the shell to protect its body. Later, it evolved into an amphibian, reptile and bird, as calcium-composed skeletons. When human beings came into existence through biological evolution, calcium became the cranium that contains the brain and bones of the hands and feet, and caused mankind to become the only spiritual being among all creatures with the ability to think and to move and walk freely. Newborn infants usually gain between 20 and 30 grams of weight each day. Between 0 and 6 years is the most exuberant period of calcium metabolism during human life. The calcium needed at that time is over twice that of the newborn period. Calcium sufficiency at this time is the chief condition of dental health. Calcium deficiency in young people under 18 years of age will have a serious negative effect on their growth. Children from 0 to 18 years of age should take Tianchi Nutrient High Calcium Powder for children. From 18 to 30 years of age, people's bone quantity keeps increasing and reaches its acme before 35. From 35 to 50, the bone quantity is gradually lost. During 50 to 70, people lose bone quantity more rapidly. This long-term calcium loss in human life causes abnormal calcium distribution in the human body. Let's discuss the influence of calcium specifically on women. From the 3rd month of pregnancy, a fetus's need for calcium increases greatly. At that time, the mother supplies a large amount of calcium from her body, and besides that, the quantity of her own blood circulation also increases, as a result of which the calcium content of the blood decreases and displays a low blood calcium content. Low blood calcium content is likely to cause the mother to have hypertension, birthing difficulty, pelvic deformity, and loosening of teeth. It can also cause malformation in the baby. Pregnant women need to be nourished with more calcium from the middle stage of their pregnancy. During the nursing period, a woman's need for calcium will increase because the mother gives a lot of calcium to her baby through her milk. During this time, a large amount of the calcium stored in the mother's body is consumed. If not nourished by additional calcium in time, the mother will suffer from aging, low immunity, and endocrine imbalance, and her health can be endangered. Menopausal women experience a decreased functioning of the ovaries and a lowering in estrogen. Ovaries participate in the metabolism of some important organs in the human body. They have an especially close connection with bone metabolism, which will affect a woman's physiological and nervous system. The low calcium absorbing ability of the aged woman's intestines causes the body to be seriously calcium deficient. Therefore, we say that women need calcium supplements throughout their whole lives. Calcium deficiency causes a number of diseases. Because of the stimulation of skeletal muscle, people can move easily. The stimulation of the skeletal muscle is caused by calcium ion, the density of which causes the contraction and expansion of the skeletal muscle. The smooth muscle and heart muscle, which we can't see, both derive their physical functions from the calcium ion. Like an army commander, calcium directs all the movements of the body. During the contraction of a muscle, when the nerve fiber is activated, calcium ions flow into the cells. As we mentioned above, the density of calcium is the standard controlling the contractions of the muscles. The calcium stored in the muscle is mainly in the myoplasm net of the skeletal muscle, and the myoplasm net is the most important transportation system for the transmission of the calcium ion. When the skeletal muscle is excited, calcium flows from the myoplasm net into the cells. The cell fluid will contain more calcium ions to help the skeletal muscle to contract. The calcium ions in the cells flow out to help the muscle to expand. The whole process is very short. We can see the shining calcium ion in the myoplasm net when a muscle contracts. If the balance in the muscle is destroyed for any reason, the smooth muscle and the heart muscle will be abnormal, which causes people to lose the ability to control their bodies. Calcium in the form of bone salt gives hardness to the bones, which enables the skeleton to carry the whole body. If we observe calcium deficiency in the bone, we will find that the metabolism of the bone cells is abnormal. This condition is called osteoporosis, which causes the following symptoms: bone pain, susceptibility to fractures, and bone abnormality. The most serious is that people break their bones frequently, even during normal activity. In the healing period, people need more calcium to accelerate the healing of the fracture. Poor nutritional absorption and poor sunlight absorption can prevent calcium salt from penetrating to the appropriate site, and that causes rickets. The main symptoms of rickets are soft cranial bones, chicken ribs, and bowed or splayed legs. A long period of calcium deficiency can bring on osteoporosis, which is a common and frequently occurring disease of aged people. The prevalent symptoms are pain in the waist while bending and frequent constrictive fractures of the breast and lumbar bones. In aged people who lack calcium, the amount of calcium in the bone is only 60%. The result of osteoporosis is degenerative transformation. So older people should enhance their nutrition and exercises, while at the same time they should supplement their calcium intake, which can help them to regain health. Everything points to diseases of the bone needing supplements of calcium. Tianchi Nutrient High Calcium Powder has special properties for improving bone density. Now, let's take a look at the diseases of the immune system caused by calcium deficiency. When a foreign germ, virus, toxin, or other disease-causing body attacks the human body, the immune system acts as a guard to do battle with the invader and reject foreign matter. But it is the calcium ion which gives the first alarm about the invasion and gives orders to the immune cells to act to seize the enemy by taking different shapes to capture and destroy them. Therefore, we can see the importance of calcium in the functioning of the immune system. When people lack calcium, the immune function will be fouled up and permit diverse skin conditions, such as scabby skin, dermatitis, acne, and others, as well as rheumatism. Calcium supplements improve the functioning of the immune system and have a curative effect on these diseases. In this regard, calcium also protects the skin and improves its appearance. Diabetes is a common metabolic disorder. The energy of a patient declines day by day, just like a dying tree, because of the urine containing a great amount of sugar. Through the urine, a great deal of calcium is lost. The foul-up of the calcium metabolism reinforces the symptoms of diabetes. 60% of diabetes patients suffer from concomitant osteoporosis. Therefore, calcium deficiency is a serious syndrome of diabetes. Diabetes sufferers should pay more attention to obtaining calcium from food and other sources to reactivate their vital force. For this purpose, Tianchi Group developed Tianchi Hyperglycemia High Calcium Powder. It is a calcium supplement without sucrose. It acts to reduce sugar as well as supplying calcium. Calcium ions play an important role in the process of neurotransmitter release. The transfer of calcium ion from both inside and outside of the nerve cell is closely related to the activating and transmitting of brain messages. When the human body lacks calcium, the release of the nerve messages will be blocked, and the mechanism of activating and transmitting will also be destroyed. The resulting symptoms in children are restlessness in sleep and fidgeting. In middle-aged and elderly people, symptoms will be stubbornness, fluctuating of emotions, loss of retentive memory, lowered resistance, and senile dementia. To supply calcium at this time is not only helpful to recovery, but can also improve the intelligence quotient and functioning of the brain. Therefore, the use of calcium supplements is very important both in prevention and cure of nervous system disorders. The heart carries the burden of life. The heart is only as big as a closed fist, but it continuously pumps blood to every cell of the human body. It is totally dependent on the contraction and expansion of the cardiac muscle. The cardiac muscle cannot do this without calcium. When the heart constricts, calcium ions control its rhythm. When calcium enters the inside of the cell, it activates a protein to cause the action of the cardiac muscle. So it makes the cardiac muscle contract and expand to keep us alive. It is quite clear that the role of calcium is very important to a healthy heartbeat. Arteriosclerosis is a non-inflammatory pathological change of the artery, which causes the vessels to thicken and harden and then to lose elasticity, thus decreasing the flow of blood. This condition is caused by fatty substances accumulating and blocking the blood vessels and increasing fibrous matter. In the process of clogging of the blood vessels and foreign matter buildup, the calcium ion is the proliferous element. When the human body seriously lacks calcium, the calcium in the blood is reduced, and the body makes bone calcium enter the blood. The calcium dissolved from bone causes a problem in blood vessels, causing the vessels to thicken and harden and lose elasticity. Arteriosclerosis, the primary reason for hypertension, coronary and cerebrovascular disease, seriously threatens human health. Recent research shows that people should pay attention to supplying calcium when they're dealing with arteriosclerosis. Finally, in the digestive system, calcium ions not only maintain and control the activity of the smooth muscle in the alimentary canal, but also participate in the function of excretion and activation of digestive enzymes. The upper part of the small intestine absorbs calcium. The duodenum absorbs calcium the quickest. The absorption of calcium is mostly through the intestinal mucous membrane. It's the most important means of holding a normal level of calcium in the human body. A long period of chronic bellyache or diarrhea can block the absorption of calcium by the intestines and can reduce the amount of calcium in the blood. This will stimulate the parathyroid, decrease the concentration of calcium in the intestines, and induce convulsions of the smooth muscles of the stomach and intestines. So, supplying calcium to the sufferers makes up for the decrease of calcium in the blood caused by absorption obstruction of the bowel and also helps to alleviate the symptoms of diarrhea. Ulcers are chronic cankers of the stomach and duodenum, induced by stomach acid and stomach protein enzymes that cause the stomach mucous membrane to digest itself. An increase in excretion of stomach acid, whether caused by unhealthy diet or surplus bile or a nervous condition, is an important cause of ulcers. When the human body lacks calcium, acid stomach easily occurs, along with an exorbitant increase of pepsins and of stomach protein enzymes. This induces alimentary canal ulcers, which, if serious, can be life-threatening. Lack of calcium can cause numerous diseases. Calcium deficiency is a long-term and hidden condition which destroys human health and brings on diverse diseases. Though the amount of calcium element on Earth is not small, the content of calcium in the human diet is not great. Generally speaking, the notion that calcium deficiency can be avoided by eating properly is a prevalent mistake. Many factors influence the absorption of calcium, such as the proportion of calcium to phosphorus, the temperature at which food is cooked, eating habits, lifestyle, health situation, and digestive mechanism. We should understand the complexity and limits of calcium absorption and pay more attention to supplying calcium and preparing our nutrition accordingly. Given the importance of calcium supplements, we have to pay attention to their qualities. They should have a high content of calcium, easy absorption, and a high rate of body utilization in proper proportions. No side effects and convenience of taking and carrying. And a content of multi-nutrients, such as multivitamins and trace elements. Tianqi Calcium Supplement is a natural bioproduct which combines a high content of calcium with a proper balance of calcium and phosphorus. It's an effective calcium supplement. Because of its high solubility, the human stomach and intestine can easily and actively absorb Tianqi calcium. The available products of the Tianqi Calcium Group include Nutrient High Calcium Powder, High Calcium Powder for children, Hyperglycemia High Calcium Powder, Calcium Chewable Tablets, and many more. Tianqi has a wide range of specifically targeted products to increase your level of health and vitality. For more information on our product range, contact your personal distributor or contact Tianqi direct. We will gradually introduce our full range of health products to the South African market, sharing the ancient Chinese secrets that have been hidden from the Western world for so long. The company's mission is to share health and success with people. Now we are at the dawn of a new century.